question everything. So, back in the day, we had real hip hop. When hip hop first came out, it was the basis of uplifting the people, bringing the people together, bringing that love back to the people, that unity, and when they started to see that actual hip hop and the music of what we was pushing back then was able to uplift the people, reunite the people and bring unity to the people, then it became a threat to those that was behind the scenes that was signing contracts to young folks that was coming up rapping. Because remember, a lot of the brothers and sisters that was rapping came out of where? The ghettos, hoods, and slums. So with that being stated, the people that was signing those, giving them contracts to sign was the wish people and, the colonizers behind the scene. And once they started to think that, this music can be revolutionary and move our people back into a positive state, bring our people back together, unify our people and uplift our people, they seen it as a threat. And once they seen it as a threat, they no longer wanted to actually sign rappers or singers that would actually sing on the behalf and the benefit of our people. They started signing people that wanted to take a bag, that didn't care if our children heard real, foul, deaf culture type of music. And in that's what we started to get. This gangster rap and this gangster culture and this hoe and pimp culture that never was really a main theme when it came to hip hop. Yes, we had our ups and our downs in our community, so we can relate to that, but it wasn't the dominance of what was going on. Hip hop was the basis of bringing you up and uplifting the community and making the community a little better place for us because we had nothing. And that's the reality of hip hop. So when you think about some of the rappers like Brand Puba, he was one of the inspirational rappers that actually uplifted and brought, a little joy to the community. Same thing with the Dead Presidents. Dead Presidents was about the political aspect of the community and breaking down the different means of what was going on throughout our community on a political level. Same thing with Arrested Development. They did the same thing, brought that political type scenery to our reality and unity to our people so that way our people can reunite. Same thing with the different barrels, like even back in the day with Will Smith and the different type of rap styles he had, the comedic type rap styles that brought joy and laughter and a little fun to the music. These different barrels was really important because they was actually bringing the people back. Same thing with, back in the day with KRS-One and the different type of verbiage that he spit when it came to, knowledge of self and actually getting out and researching and studying for yourself. These things was a powerful movement in our community. Same thing with Public Enemy and how they brought out that truth about how we was being treated by, the police departments and all that stuff. All these different barrels was real barrels that actually showed the children how to stand a little stronger and a little more unified amongst themselves and honor themselves to be able to uplift themselves in a better manner. And that's what it was about, man. You got to give Eric Sherman, EPMD, and all them dudes the same credit, man, because it was different eras, different barrels that brought out these different types of issues in our community that actually uplifted the community and actually brought the children into a better thought pattern in order for the children to grow up and be a little more stronger on a level of what they're supposed to be about when it comes to helping and unifying and bringing back positive culture to our people. And this was the threat, because once you can see people coming around with the Flavor Flav clock on their neck and stuff like that, and you see hundreds, if not thousands of people doing it, you see that the mindsets of the people was in it, like Queen Latifah back then when she was rapping about how we gotta uplift our women and be honorable to our women and just to our women and loving to our women and see them as queens. That was powerful. And those type of imageries, the system of oppression, they didn't want to have that. This is why I tell y'all, ain't nothing changed, because the inheritors of our oppression are still willing to keep us in the positions that we in under this impoverished state that their forefathers have burnt, killed, murdered, massacred, and all the other different things they done to us to get us here. And they're willing to maintain that. This is why it's so important that reparations breed liberation. Because this is at the end of the day, if we controlled all this, then we can control the narrative of how our communities and how our children see themselves, thus how our young adults and adults come out about being adults when it comes to being productive in our communities and our society. And that's just what it is. our nation can regroup. But in order for us to regroup, we got to control what makes us, our story. We can't allow the people that actually openly destroyed us have a say in our narrative of who we are and how we move. That's just the reality to it. So when you think about this, go check out some of those groups, man, that I just said, man. Arrested Development, they was hot. They was hot. And they still hot today when you replay it, because it still bring back that jewel, that treasure, that uplift the spirit to bring you back into that vibe of wanting to love your people. That's what it's about. Same thing with my man K Reno. He was hot. He's still hot. He's doing this thing right now. And he's very political about the different aspects of how the system has done us and still moving on all of us as a whole. So when you think about these different groups, man, you gotta get into the know, man, and understand that hip hop was about the culture of the people and uplifting the people and bringing the people back to unity and bringing our children out of this deaf culture of gangster and gangsterism and hating one another and calling our women bees and hoes and talking about getting a bag and tricking and all this other bull crap that these motherfucking wish people done put our people up under like it's our culture. No, it's their vision of our culture. And we got to come the fuck out of their vision. Excuse my motherfucking reality of speech, because at the end of the day, you got to have a little flavor and a little salt and a little pepper when you're talking about real realities when it comes to our children and what they're going through out there based off of these adults and young adults taking these bags to push this deaf culture on them through their ears and their eyes, wearing jewelry and chains and all the different types of whips and houses that these colonizers willing to give them as long as they pushing this deaf on us. So with that, big ups to all those brothers and sisters back then and those that are doing it now when it comes to pushing that real hip hop and that real energy that uplift the spirit and move the people back together, back to unity. Because without that, we lost in the source 100%, man. And with that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. But that is the question. You let me know. Peace, praise.